Shri Ganeshaya Namaha Sadashiva Samarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryandam Vande Guru Paramparam Om Sahana Vavadu Sahana Punaktu Sakaviryam Karavavagai Tejasvina Vadidamastuma Vitvishabhagai Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tassate Om Namo Bhagavate Vaivasvadaya Matve Brahma Vidyacharya Nachiketase cha. So we are in the 12th mantra. Eko Vasi Sarva Bhudantaratma Ekam Rupam Bhagutaya Karoti Tamastam Anupashyanti Dhiraha Tesham Sukam Sashvatam Netarasha. So in this Valli, we have mantra 12 to 15. So this is going to be a Sukha Vichara. This Valli concludes with these mantras talking about Sukha, which you all want. If you quickly recap from the mantra 8 onwards, in the 8th mantra, the Brahma Lakshanam was shown as the Chaitanyam which transcends all the Jiva Avasthas. What are the Jiva Avasthas? Jagrata, Swapna, Sushuptihi. The 3 states of embodied existence. We call it Avastha because Avastha is a conditioned enforcement that you have to endure or experience it or enjoy it, but it has been given to you. What is given to us? The time-space constraint, this embodiment, the body. But in this, there are 3 different states of existence. The awakened state, the Vyavaharika state, the Jagrata state that you and I are exchanging now. And there is a world, there is a mind, there is an intellect, there is a Kriya, there is a Vishaya. You have Sukha Dukkhams. Then the world is shut off, Indriyas are shut off, the mind is active, you have Swapna state. There you create the one world, endure, experience, enjoy. Then the mind is shut off, Buddhi is shut off, the Ahankaram subsides, and you have the deep sleep state. So can you change the states? No, you can influence it in a way, but these things happen perpetually. So our life is an anubhavadhara of these 3 modified states of existence. But we see a coherence in this because there is an Atma. See, always I say my Atma, that is not correct. My Atma becomes a possession of mine. No, Atma is I. Therefore, I exist transcending all the 3 states. But I become somehow embellished in the body and foolishly think the body is I. Foolishly think the mind is I. Or foolishly think the body-mind complex is I. So the eighth mantra, it is indicated that he is a Brahman, Atma. That is what is there. And that is Sarvam. If it is in me, it is in you in every form. So Sarvam Brahmamayam. Then the question came, then why there's a differences? Then the mantra ninth and the 10th brought out with the two examples of upathis. What is upati? Remember the definition that you can remember and clearly understand is that upati is a limited being, limited thing that translates superficially its nature to something which is close to it. You will realize everything become upati when you analyze it deeply. Because everything exists because of the existence of Atma, the Chit, the Chat, Sat. So the mantra took Agni to represent the gross products. How the Agni appears in a yajnam, in a deepam, in a sun, in a fire, in a round wood, in a square wood, takes different shapes and forms, but Agni remains the same. Same way the Atma takes different forms. Then the 10th mantra, it took the upati of Vayuhu, subtle than, subtler than Agni, Sukshma Sariram. If Agni is a Virata Purushaka, Vayu or Vani is the Hiranyagarbha. All the subtle nature. The subtle nature takes different form as a baby, as a child, as a buffalo, as a flower. So these two examples gave the reason to contemplate the truth that Ekam Anekam. In Namachivaya Varga Slogam, Ekan Anekan, Irevan Adivelga, Ekan Anekan. It's a very clever use of this Sanskrit phrase. Ekam, the Ekatattvam became Anekatattvam. Pakudavijayata. Then, if the upati becomes impacting the upakitam, what is upakitam? That which is impacted. Spadikam is upahitam and the flower is the upati. The upati goes behind the spadikam. Spadikam looks red in color. Upahitam get affected, correct? The moment you take the upati away, upahitam remains as pure as it is. That means upahitam never gets affected. So the Atma, which is giving an impression of different nature of form, by inheriting the nature of those forms, does not actually change itself. It is unattached, Sakshirupena. For that, the 11th mantra we saw another example of upati, the sun. The sun throws a light on everything. The sunlight falls on a gutter, it falls on the Gangajal, it falls on the Lord, it falls on you, falls on a pig. but the sunlight does not get impacted by it. It doesn't get impaired by it. Like this Chandala asks Adi Shankara in the Manisha Panchakam. How can you say that the same sunlight that falls on the Ganga Jal and the utter gutter get affected by it? No. So Suryaksa Shakshuhu, we saw in the last example. So the 8, 9, 10, 11 gave us the Brahma Lakshanam. We saw the Jiva Lakshanam before. In the 12, 13, 14, and 15, the last four mantras, it is giving the Jiva Ishvara Aikyam, or the Brahma Atma Tattva. The Brahman and Atma. Atma is I. The Jiva Atma, I. Brahma is the Paramatma. The Atma is Ishvara. And both are the same. And by knowing that, knowing means by realizing it. Knowing, you and I know now, because we learned that if you have Shraddha, you know it. See, Vivekam, we'll touch upon it a little bit later. Knowledge is not experience. If I say halwa is sweet, I don't experience sweetness. I know the knowledge. So, no matter how much of knowledge you have about the Atma Tattva, you don't realize it. The realization requires that Guru Kripa, Ishvara Kripa, Nididhyasanam. You get a sukha. So that's a prayojan. So if you look at this mantra, Eko Vashi, Sarvabhuta Antaratma, Ekam Rupam Bhagutaya Karoti. The first line, if you take it, Eko Vashi, Ekaha, Ekam. Ek means one, just one. But this one is not a digital one, not a quantized one that you can divide into half, into 1/4. You can multiply into many. So that's why we don't say there is one God. We don't say that. But we say there is only God. There's a difference of adding the adverb only God, because everything is God. It's indivisible. That is Advaitam. So the Ekam means Advaitam. Okay. Vashi. Vashi means Vashikaraha. It attracts everything. It controls everything in its loop, in which is the uh, influencer of everything else, or in which everything is subsiding. So, Yaha Ekaha Vashi, this one Atma, which gravitates, which pulls everything towards itself, that is the controller, yeah, is Sarva Bhuta Antaratma. It is also realized in Sarva Bhuta Andar Atma. In everything, it is an indwelling. So don't say, therefore, it is my Atma. You say, it is I. Because understand the difference. Mamakaram comes in, you objectify. It's not my possession. It's not like my eyes, my brain, my mind, my property. It's not a property. It's not a karyam. It's a karanam. So don't be afraid to say, at least in the Vedantic classes, in the contemplation, Aham, when Bhagavan says, I am the Ishvara, I am everything. But it was Lord Krishna, for the everybody's eyes, a charioteer for Arjuna. a close friend of Arjuna, proclaiming to Arjuna that I am the God. If you say he is God and he is saying it, you won't question it. But if you say otherwise, how can you say I am God? How many great Mahatmas says, I am God? It is not out of arrogance, because of the realization that this Atma that is indwelling in this embodiment is my true self. I am Atma Brahma. Aham Brahmasmi. So it is that Sarvabhut Antaratma. So this is given the Lakshanam for it. We saw the Lakshanam before. Satchit Anandam. No? Asangatvam, Gudastvam, Nirakaram, Nirgunam, all that we saw. Right. Now, the next line he says, Ekam Rupam Bhagutaya Karoti. What does that mean? Ekam Rupam. So this is the in what is in one form. Bahuta Yat Karoti. So it is basically taking its indivisible form, seemingly becomes many. Vivarta Upadana Karanam. Like the little fire becomes many fire, the same Atma becomes many forms. Right. So this is the Lakshanam of it. Now, what do you do with this Vivekam? Tam Atmastam. Tam means that Atma, that awareness, that consciousness, that Chaitanyam, that Brahman. Ye dhiraha, it's a very famous pet word for Upanishad, dhiraha. Those valiant jnanis, the seers, who give away their false notion of the self-identity to the body-mind complex. Those dhiraha, atmastam. Here the atmastam means within their embodied, within their body-mind complex, within their sukshma sariram. What do they see? They see that Atman. They see, that means they realize that true nature as Atma within this body-mind complex itself. How do they see it? Anupashyanti. Pashyanti means they see it. They realize it here. Who? The Dhiras. What do they realize? Tam, that Atma. Which Atma? Ekam. Sarvabhuta Antaratma. They realize the self-nature within themselves. Anupashyanti. The Anu means generally perpetuating, continuous. Anupallavi. Pallavi follows Anupallavi. Anusandhanam. But here Anu also means Guru Sastra Upadesa Dwarat. Through the Guru Sastra Upadesa. It's very important to have the Guru's Kripa, Guru's direct influence on it, because we will know it when we go further on it. When you learn everything, when you have all the knowledge to point out to you, you need to have the Guru's Anugraham. So with the Guru Shastra Upadesa Dwarat, Ye Dhiraha Pashyanti. So what happened to them? Okay, I got this knowledge, I got a Shastra Jnanam, I got the Guru Kadaksha, and I realize my true nature as Atma, the Brahman. So what happened? Tesham, for them, Sukham. They get the Sukham. So it all comes down to this. Because why do we go to temple? Why do we worship God? Because we want sukham. That's it. The sukham is what kind of sukham you want. Nirbhayam, abhayam, fearless sukham you want. You may say, look, I don't need to go there because I have millions of dollars money, I have excellent family, I have social circles. I'm enjoying. Right now, I'm enjoying it. Why should I become a dhiraha to do it? You're enjoying it now. If you ask you tomorrow, you may say, I'm not enjoying it. What happened? Every sukham that comes and goes. So he put the next word. Tesham sukham sashvatam. He get they get the sukham which is permanent, forever. There is no change. They are always happy. Is it possible to be happy all the time? What is that kind of a sukham it is? What happens if I am always happy? What is the result of it? Will my life change? It will change. If you are happy, you are like a light. The light dispels darkness. If you're happy, this kind of a Shashvata Sukham you have, around you there is light. Around you people are happy. If you're happy, you have abhayam, you have nirbhayam. If you have no fear, there is no desire. There is no hate. There is no desire. There is no kamya karma nirbandha. You may still do your duty. You may still go and teach. You may still go and do the seva to public. Why you do it? Because dharma. The world exists for many. Out of compassion, I do it. Do I get any benefit? No. Do I need any benefit? No. So naturally, without trying, Sasvata Sukhi is karma become karma yasanyasa, karma yoga. There is no papa punya anymore. That's why when for the tree that falls on somebody's head, has a tree committed of papam? No. A tiger eats a sheep for its hunger. Does it do a papam? No. Because they are now just action in dharma without any perpetual need for themselves. So this is the, well, if you, unless you need that Shasvata Shukam, the Vedantic thirst cannot become an yearning and become a fire in your head to resolve it. Until then, it is a intellectual gymnastic. It gives you relaxation. It gives you, compared to any puja or a homa, anything like that, where it's a tense devotion, fear, everything is there. In Vedantic class, you have assimilating lectures, and sometimes it is pleasing, generally pleasing, often confusing, but it is fine. But there's no prayojanam. The prayojanam comes in, because there are prayojanam. The ultimate prayojanam comes in when you attain sukham shashvatam anupashyanti through the Guru Dwara. And we will get it. So the Sukha Vicharam is therefore is the main thing that we need to do. What is this Sukham? So nice, it's very hot out there. I was happy this morning, went for a walk. Now it is so much humidity, sweating. I'm not feeling comfortable. I'm not happy. So what changed? My Sukham has gone. What caused the change? This hot air. A nimittam is there. They're a lovely couple. They were together. Now they divorced. Why? One is not showing love anymore, another person. So there is a nimittam. I was enjoying the sweet. I don't take it anymore because it is doesn't work with my body. A dukkam. So every sukham that we have as a nimittam. So you should have a nirnimittam. You have a sukham without any reason you must have. How is it possible? You need things for the sukham, right? So you need to contemplate that. So in Gita, Bhagavan says couple of very interesting mantras. In the fifth chapter, Yehi samsparsaja boga dukkha yonyena evate. He call it a samsparsam. Sparsam means you touching it. So the hot air touches my body, I get humidity, I get anger. I don't like it. So when I eat sweet, I'm happy. So every time when you touch something, and then the senses bring you that happiness about the object, the Vishaya Bhogam, Vishayanandam, it's called. That gives you happiness for it. Okay. So isn't it how the life supposed to be? Life is supposed to be? Yes, of course, it's supposed to be like that. But what happens is, since this changes for every time your object changes, it is impermanent. So what do I do then? So in the sixth chapter, he says, Yujjana evam sadatmanam yogi vikata kalmashaha sukhena brahma samsarpasham. So the sparsham means touching. Samsparsham means touching totally, but you touch the Brahman. Brahma samsarpa. So you can, like you are enjoying the sweetness and give you happiness, you can enjoy the sweetness of your true nature. Atmajnana anubhuti. So here, okay, it looks like he's objectifying it. Lakshayatim is not that. Here the context is your anandam is always a Vishayanandam. Anandam in Vishayas. Many experiences gives you. It is not the Vishaya gives me the Sukham, because the laddu I used to enjoy, I hate it now because it is not fitting my body. It gives me Dukkham. Or if an object is inherently having the Sukham inside, you should give Sukham to everybody else. It doesn't. So it is not the object that contains the Sukham Dukkham. It is me or the consumer contains the Sukham Dukkham. So the Vishayanantam becomes the Bhoganantam. That means you get experience of this Bhogam, but the experience happens in the mind. Therefore, the mind is the one who imposes a condition of enjoyment to be Dukkham or Sukham. You don't need Vedanta for it. This is just a practical experience, and analysis will tell you you are happy or sad based on your mind. Is it not? So why, therefore, you have to look for happiness through objects which has nothing to do with happiness? So how to be free from the fear of dukkham? That is, you free from seeking shugam or dukkha nivritti from the objects. Don't feel happy because somebody loves you. You be happy, everybody will love you. Don't be happy because you have attained some success, because success will not be permanent and you will have deprived of the happiness for it. So, happiness is therefore not something you want to come, let it go. You want to hold on to it, right? That's what you now it comes to, right? And I can hold on to it by replacing the objects as a necessity. Then you think in yukti, therefore I must create a bhavam in myself. So you're saying, oh, the iPhone 15 gives me happiness if I have it. But now I learned in Vedanta, the happiness is not having the iPhone, but it is just in my mind. Then, does it mean I must imagine I have the iPhone? No. That bhavam also gives you an existence, right? You don't need objects for it. Now, how is it possible? It is not possible at all if you have to acquire a sukham like that without an object. Then, what is a Brahma Samsvarism means? What does it mean? It means he gives in the second chapter. See, Bhagavan gave everything to Arjuna in second chapter itself. Only that he cannot understand, he started expanding this. Apuryamanam achala pradishtam samutram abhavaha pravishanti yatvat tatvat kamayam pravishanti sarve sashantim apnodi nakama kami. That means by like a ocean, just as the ocean remains completely undisturbed by the incessant flow of the river, the waters into this. Many waters come and merge into the sea. Sea does not jitter, it just stays as ever fulfilled. The river doesn't come into it, it's still fulfilled. The river comes in, it remains fulfilled. So this all this submersion of other Vishaya Anubhavas as immaterial to the ocean of bliss that you have, that you are. That you have is wrong. That you have is incorrect. That you are. That means I am not other than the Shuddha Swarupam. The Atma Swarupam is Sukham. So I don't acquire the Sukham. I am the Sukham. I am the Anandam. What is the evidence of it? Since my roam from my life, always struggle one after the other. You may not remember it, but when you are a child, you are a happy child. Except for a little hunger, mother feeds you, then happiness is your embodiment. You're always happy because there's nothing you own, nothing you have attachment to, nothing takes your heart away from this. Everything is a play. You are permanently happy. Then, of course, we create bandham, passion, and everything goes away. So, sarvam atmavasam is sukha. Paravasam, para means outside. See, people say in Tamil, I attained paravasam. Paravasam, they say excitement, anxiety, but paravasam means you are get attracted to something else. Para means outside. Something just took you away, something hypnotized you away. As long as you are seeking happiness in something external to you to give you fulfillment, it is impermanent because you have within yourself, your swarupam, which is Atma Sukham. So this is what the Sukham means here. Okay. In the next mantra, he says same thing. So in this mantra, what he said, therefore, Sukham there, Sashvatam. We call it Anandam. We use the word Anandam for it. In this mantra, 13th mantra, he reinforces slightly differently, but to bring the same point. Very interesting. Nityo Nityana Chedanaschedanana Eko Bahunamyo Vidadati Kaman Tam Atmastam Ye Anupashyanti Dhira. Exactly like this. Last mantra. Tesham Shantihi Sashvati Netaresham. No, I forgot to tell you the last mantra also, last phrase. Na iteration. Netaresham. See, this is important. When I am a dhira, when I know the Atma is my true nature, I get Sashvata Sukham. The Guru did not stop there. Na iteration. He put a additional condition clause. Iteration for all others, na, na Sukham, na Sukham Swaspatam. They can never get happiness. So it is a complete assertion. Same thing he repeats here. Na itaresham tesham shanti. Here he gives a shanti. Instead of sukham, he gives us shanti. I think he's improving the vocabulary because sukham always comes with a dukkham, we say, right? But the sukham is not that sukham. It's anandam. There's another phrase called shanti. Shanti. Shanti has no imbalance, no sukha tranquil, serene, abhayam, like in a deep sleep. How is that? Again, the first line talks about the Brahma Lakshana. Yaha ekaha anityanam nityaha. Now, you see a different definition of Brahman. Brahman is one, that Brahman in anityanam nityaha. In all this impermanent one, it is permanent. Have you seen anything nityam in this world? Think of anything that is permanent. So far you have seen. No. Everything goes. You may say Himalayas there for many years, but some yugas Himalayas was not there. It may be a Prabhaga Satyam. Thames is running all the time, but it is keep on changing. So Anityam is what everywhere. We don't see Nityam in it. The Anityam is there. But in the Anityam, you say Anityam is there. If it is there, means it is existing. The existence is what? Atma. So Anityam can exist because it is in the Nityam. It exists as an Anityam. The Prabhaga Satyam, like a train is running, Train doesn't exist now. It comes, it goes. It is able to do that because it is running on the Nityam, the rails. The rails is there as a Nityam. Train as an Anityam comes and goes. The rail also runs, train cannot run, right? So something has to be fixed forever. So that is a Brahma. So here it is reminding you Brahman is Sat. Sat means existence. Wherever you say is, Isness is that Ishwaraha. Or there is a problem, you say. That means there is Ishwaraha. There is goodness, Ishwaraha. There is badness, evilness, Ishwaraha. How can you say Ishwara inauspicious thing? Ishwara has no inauspicious. Mangalam, Amangalam, it's all in the Sagunam. It's all in our taking. For the Paramanyani, there is nothing good or nothing evil because everything is Atma, Paramam, Sat. So Sat Tattvam is reminded. Then Chetanam, Chetanaha. You have to, Anvaya must be proper. Chetanam, Chetanaha. Chetanam means sentience, awareness, intellect. In the beings of animated beings, this is the sense. This is a Chaitanyam. What is it? In this? The first line, everything is given at the gross level. Existence in non-existence. That is Atma. Second, in the mind, in the complex, mind becomes, no, I'm bright. My buddhi thinks everything. Buddhi is a Chetanam. But buddhi ka buddhi, Atma hai. Kathopanaishad says, the eyes of the eye, the ear of the ears, the one that is seeing through the seeing instrument, one hearing through the hearing instruments. Chetanam, Chetanaha. That is Atma. That is Chit. Understand? Chit is Chaitanya. So, Sat and Chit. So very beautifully, these two lines say. Then what is it? What is it doing? Now it is coming down to Ishvara level. Parabrahmam is Nirguna Brahmam, Nirakaram, Satyam, Gudastam, Sangatvam, all that you put that. Sat Chit Anand, that is. But that Brahman, as Ishvara with his Maya Shakti, what does he do? Bagunam Kaman Vidat Dhati. Vidat Dhati. So what he is completing the desires. Kaman means desires. Desires of everything. Datati means actually giving. Vidat Dhati. He is actually giving. What is he giving? He giving whatever the desires of who? Bahunam. For all the forms in which he manifests indwelling Atma, in all the life beings, he is giving what they desire. What does it mean? It means the Kaman means, you can say, Vishayan, Bhoga Vishayan, or Karma Palani. Whatever the Karma Palam that each beings have got, he distributes, he gives. See, someone asked now, Karma Palam is, Karmam gives you the Palam, right? Why Ishvara in between? No, that's not a very good question because Karmam is insentient, achetanam. Karmam is a neutral gender, it is achetanam, it cannot give anything. It's a kind of a repository. How do I explain this? Say, for example, the justice system is there in this country. If you're pickpocketing, if you're murdering somebody, you should be imprisoned. There's a clear law. Every crime had to be punished. But the existence of law does not distribute the punishment, the justice. Why? Because the law is achetanam. It has no sentient principle. You need an intelligent being to interpret the rules of this law book and then distribute, give this prasad. That is the Ishvara. Karma paladata. That's why you should never take an argument like Daksha take an argument. You do punya karma, I don't need to worship God. Punya will take care of me. Yeah, it'll take care of me to some extent, but it'll put in a big ditch. You have to have, that's why Patanjali said, Ishvara Pranidhana. Any upasana you do, any karma you do, Ishvara Arpanam, Ishvara, I am doing it on your behalf. You have to do that. Then you come to Vedanta, you further understand that that role of that is Parabrahman distributing this one. But okay, I understand. This is knowledge about the Brahma. Then what happened? It's very interesting. The third line, it gives the prayojanam. Ye dhiraha. The same thing, you know that. What do they think? Tam atmastam anubhashyanti. Now you understand, this tam is what? Tam is that Brahman. Which Brahman? Chetana, Chetanaha. Anityanam Nityaha. Sadashiva Pramanandam. Brahman. So that all pervading Brahman, what do they see? Atmastam Anupashyanti. They are seeing inside as their Atma. That means they see that Ishvara is nothing but this Jiva. Paramatma is nothing but this Jivatma. So they become a realized soul. Okay? So what happened to them? Tesham, last time we saw Sukham Shashvatam. Here, Shanti Shashvati. Shanti is the perpetual peace. It's a Jnana. So in the line 1 and 2, we have Paramatma Swarupam. Line 3 is a Jiva Ishvara Aikyam. Line 4 is a Jnana. Like that is good. Now, this is interesting. Now, let's look at the 14th mantra first. Tadedat idi manyante. Tat yedat idi manyante. Anirdeshyam paramam sukham. Kadam nudat vijaniyam. Kimubadi vibadiva. Here, the first line again, he repeat the last two mantras essence. You know, in the last, all the mantras, you know, we were singing this one line. Etat vaitat, etat vaitat. All the time we are saying. They expand this to give a meaning of that. Tat edat. Whatever that is. Etat iti. What is that? That means that Parabrahman, all pervading Parabrahman. That one. Etat iti. I mean, etat means this Atma. That means myself. That Ishvara is myself, the Jiva. Who says that? Manyante Anirdeshyam Paramam Sukham. So, Anyante. Manyante means have them in the mind. They think. Who think? The Dhiras think. I think here you should not just take literal meaning. Manyante means manishyate. Here they have determined because etati it. So they have come to the conclusion. No, this is the style of Upanishad. Upanishad they always say, thus it is said, thus it is said by somebody else. Whoever says this, whichever rishi, whichever seer says it, they say, I say it. It is how it is said. So that is the kind of a vinayam, that's kind of a thing. So here the manyate, all the dhiras, the seers consider that Parabrahman is the Atma. So that is Anirdesyam Paramam Sukham. Anirdesyam. Nirdesyam means a definition. Anirdesyam means cannot define. Anirvachaniyam. Inexplicable Sukham. Paramam Sukham. Param is a viశేషణం. Incomparable Sukham. Paramanandam. So it is just repeating. So that Ishvara is you, that Parabrahman is you, that is the Paramasukham. Hereafter I cannot explain this anymore. Anirdesyam, it is impossible to explain. Then, second line, we can take it as Nachiketas, the disciple, is asking. Oh, I see. Atam no, how then? Tat vijaniyam. Vijaniyam means understanding. Tat. Katam no tat vijaniyam. How do I then understand this? What do you want to understand? He says, Kim upati avipati va. Upati or vipati va. Kim. What is this? Is it existing by itself? Kim upati? That Chaitanyam, that myself, I'm existing by itself, by myself. That means it is not conditioned by anything else. Swaswarupam, Sutantram, Muktam, Vibhadiva. Vibhadiva means Vibhadi is a special part. Is it manifested to an object of a special one? Or is it by it's just there? You see, when you can't explain it, how can you ask questions? Nachiketa says, Guru, how am I going to understand this? Are you saying it is there in me, just existing as it is? Or does it appear to be in some special form? Can you give me some more clue? See, all this question comes because you still want to know it. What is knowing means? To with means to know. Veda means knowledge, to know. But Veda Andam means end of knowing. So you cannot know it. So all the time, and what the Guru is telling, it is unknowable because the knower is what you're trying to know. You just have to realize you are that knower. But you still ask the question, right? You ask the question, does it exist by itself? Or it is there somewhere in the form? Then you go to the next mantra. So this is the last mantra. I think, yeah, this is the last mantra. What kind of answer you can give it to him? So he says, Nachiketas, listen to this one more time. Na tatra suryo bhadi, na chantra tarakam, nema vichido bhanti, kuto ayamakni, tameva bhantam anupadi, sarvam tasya bhasa, sarvamitam vipati. Na tatra suryo. Tatra means there, in its place. Okay, when you ask a question on an object-oriented question, you have to give an object-oriented answer. So when you're listening to the answer, understand the deficiency of both the question and answers, because it's not something you can point out. So you have to take the answer and then look beyond the answer to realize it. It says here, there, tatra, here, that place. That means it gives a location for it. But sarvatvam is in Atma. But here it is in the context of the question. In Atma, Surya na bhadi. Bhadi means prakasham. There, the sun cannot light up. What do you mean? Is it dark? It's Purnam. Sun cannot light up. That means you cannot have something showing light on it because it is what is seeing. Can the sun show the darkness? No. It is not a limitation of sun because sun transcends all those things. Same way now, even that physical sun cannot show the Atma because the Atma is seeing the sun. The both abhavam and bhavam. Both knowledge and ignorance I am aware of. When knowledge is there, ignorance cannot be there. They are binary. But both can be there in my awareness. Right? Here it says, Surya cannot. Then it poetically says, Chandra Taragam. Tara means all these stars. There cannot be moon, there cannot be stars. That means there cannot be any subsidiary lights, subsidiary knowledge. Nothing can be there in that place. That means it transcends everything you can think of because your thinking faculty is already transcended. So then what do I do? Can I get a spark of it? No, it says, Ima vidyudo na bhanti. Ima vidyudo means there's lightnings. Lightning doesn't stay like a sun or a moon or a star. So if Nachiketa's thinks in their mind, will there be a Guru Kadaksham or something? Would I see kind of a light coming into me and showing me that, Sometimes you always imagine, right? Some light will come. See, all that when you're looking for thing, then there may be light may come to your mind. This is manobhavam. You worship on a guru and the guru comes in front of you. It's possible. Because Atma will create, because the Atma says you are not ready for it. You want a bhavam. Yeah, then the bhavam will come. Then the guru goes away, you get dukkham. Because you can't see the guru anymore. But here it transcends the manolayam. When you gone out of that, there's nothing to come. Not even a spark can show you. Then how is it? Bhantam. Bhantam means it is there by itself. Kudaha ayam agni bhantam. How can then any agni means any light, any knowledge, anything else can show this? Nothing can show it because everything else, tameva anubhadi sarvam. Sarvam, everything else, tameva anubhati. Only because of that, everything else light up. An object exists, you see the object exist. Why you see the object exist? Because there's a light goes on the object. The light goes into your eyes. The light goes into your mind. The mind becomes sentient, the buddhi becomes sentient. Eyes can see, and there's no object there. So the experiencer must have the intelligence to see. The object of experience should be visible. The experience should happen. Then you see the light. They call it black hole. That's why, the black hole in the thing. What is a black hole? Black hole is where you can experience a gravitational pull to go to negative infinitum, into go to negative state or zero state. But you can't see a form there. Why? But you see an abhavam of light. So there is an existence of darkness. If you define light as absence of darkness, then it's kind of mutually, inculcated. Then what is darkness definition? Absence of light. Then is can both light and darkness exist? Not together, but separately. So in Nyaya Sastra, we use the term abhavam. Abhavam of light is darkness, right? Everything exists because there is a light of consciousness. You can see both. You have to really meditate on this statement. You are the one seeing the world. In your vision only, everything exists. If an object does not come into existence, the object is not in your world. You do not know what is outside the solar system because for you there is nothing exists. You may believe that something exists or not, but it is not in your world. Every awareness create a new world for you. So there are a lot of, we don't go into the detail of it. There are different kinds of Nyayavadas there. Just because you are not aware doesn't mean it doesn't exist, or it exists and awareness comes later. Buddhavadam, Abhavadam. All this we can go into a separate class. But what you have to comprehend is that your lokam, your lokaha, your world of experience is from your chaitanyam. Anupadi sarvam tameva bhantam. Everything is there. Sarvam itam vipadi. Vipadi here, vipadi is that special existence of anything because of this. I can see this particular experience, a particular object because of this. So this is how this second Valli or the second Adhyaya ends. In summary, Jiva Lakshanam is shown in this Adhyaya. Jiva Gati is shown. Gati is shown in both cases. Jiva Gati for those who do not understand the Atma Jnanam, do not realize it, the path they take. Jivagati for those seers who see things as they are, with Saswarupam, the moksham they get. Then the Brahma Lakshanam is shown. The Brahman is Atma, Paramatma. Paramatma we say when we see Brahman as Ishvaraha. We say Jivatma when you see Brahman in the individual conditioned being. Then since we know in the Jiva Lakshanam, the conditioned being is not the body-mind buddhi complex. Therefore, it has to be the Chaitanyam that is indwelling. It shows me as a small Chaitanyam, and this is a big Chaitanyam, because I'm limited, so I'm conditioned of it. Therefore, you take some school, take a thought, okay, this is a part of it, it's an anga, angi, kind of dvaita bhavam. That that myth be destroyed. Take the example of the Agni, Bhagrupa Agni. Agni in a lighter or a candle or a yajna is exactly same. Upati makes it conditioned, but the Agni is always an Agni, Ekam. Therefore, this Atma that I am thinking is small Atma inside me, there's no smallness to it. That is Atma. Aham Brahmasmi. Aham Atma. Now, okay, I have not got the realization for it yet. I now agree to that statement. It must be right. It must be true. Before I can realize it, give me motivation for it to realize it. Then Bhagavan said, you will attain Sastvatam Sukham. Then what is this Sukham? It's not a Vishayanandam, it is Brahmanandam. That means something which will not come and go, it is eternally there. Animitam. That is Shantihi. Okay, now I know Jiva Ishvara Brahma, Jiva Ishvara Aikyam is the truth. I know I am Jiva hai, Jivatma hai, I am Ishvara hai. I know when I understand this, realize it, I may get the Shanti. Now I want to realize it. Please, can you show me whether this Atma light will happen to me in a small fly or in a big way? Is there any indication for me to know? He said in the last mantra, no, Nachiketas, because there is no external lights, there's no nothing there. It is just you, yourself. Swayam Sarvam Swaswarupam Bhantam. Sarvam Gitam Vibhati. Sarvamangalam. He finishes like that. Of course, we need to know how he realizes it. I think that comes in the next Adhyaya. So we will close it now. Om Sakana Bhavatu.
Om
Saganavatu
Sakana Bhunaktu.
Saganam Punaktu
Sakaviryam Karavavahai.
Sahaviryam Kavavaki
Tejasvinavadidamastu.
Tejasvinavaditamastu
Ma Vitvishavahai.
Mavitvishavakaihi
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti
Om Purnamada Purnamidam
Om Purnamada Purnamidam
Purnat Purnamudachyate
Purnat Purnamudachyate
Purnasya Purnamadaya
पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय
Purnamevavasishyate.
पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते
Purnamevavasishyate
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
ॐ
Om
शान्ति शान्ति
Shanti
शान्तिः
Hari
Shanti
Om Tatsat.
हरि
Hari
Hari
Om
Om Tat Sat.
तत्सत्
Tatsat.
I thank you, Balaji.
Namaskar. Thank
Thank you very
you.
much.
See you next week.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much.
Thank you.
Enjoy the sunshine now. God.
Yeah.